What
There
up,
he is, the
man?
man of the hour. How you feeling, my brother?
I'm all right, man. What's happening?
Oh man, lovely, baby, lovely. Best, blessed, better than most. I ain't seen you since quarantine. How you holding up? How you feeling? What's new?
Man,
You know?
just trying to get through another 24 hours, bro. You know what it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So man, I
Yeah.
had to get you on, man. I've been doing this every Thursday. Just self-educate myself, self-educate my fans, and my family is what I call them. I don't even call them fans; they're family.
Yep.
And I just had to tell a lot of people know of you from the movies and all the great shit you've done from music to I mean it goes on and on, but I just had to get you on because I don't think a lot of people really realize you're from Compton, California.
What?
Watts, California. And you really went through a lot of real shit to get to where you at, like myself. And I just wanted to just have a conversation with you on Worth of Conversation, just about some of your trials and tribulations and the way you see things as a black man, to the day, especially how us as a culture, we kind of limit each other's success to one facet of life or one
Right.
thing they've done,
Yeah.
and don't really understand they can multitask and have multi goals and reach different levels. So, I just had to get my guy Black Town on the line. People welcome my brother. You know what I mean? This is like chopping up one of my partners right here. So this
Yes,
love.
sir.
We're gonna get some
Yes,
game
sir.
tonight, baby. We're gonna get some game tonight.
Well, man, I appreciate you having me on, man. I think, it's honorable of you as a man of integrity to be able to say, I got fans, I got followers, I'm a man with influence, I have this God-given stage and platform. So what do we do with it?
Right.
And as we both said, or as you just said, we know each other. We got each other's phone. We can have all kind of private conversation, iron sharpen iron, wisdom swapping, spirituality, praying over our relationships and
Right.
kids. But that becomes a two-way conversation.
Right.
Being able to have everybody to tune in and listen in, we're at the height of depression. We're at the height of psychological warfare.
Leave that.
We have people that have never had mental health issues ever in their life that's feeling stuff right now and going through stuff because they're just trying to wrap their head around everything that's going on. The divorce rate is high.
Yeah, I see that.
The domestic violence rate is high.
Right.
And that's just a bunch of stuff that people ain't talking about because everything obviously is about rest in peace, our brother George Floyd and Tamir Rice and Breonna Taylor and just everything that we're dealing with. And, it's almost like wear a mask, but they're not necessarily instructing us on how to go about wearing a mask when there's
Right.
a lot of people with breathing issues.
Right. Right.
It's
Right.
like, so I'm just grateful to be on the platform to just give everybody that's tuned in an opportunity, if we can, to say, look, man, we know shit is real out here. And this conversation is not about celebrity status, net worth, albums or movies or projects or all this narcissistic shit that most of us have built our careers on, promoting and advertising what we got coming up. This is us saying, we see you and we feel you and we understand all of these traumas that's happening right now.
You putting the people first. I feel like that's and it's crazy that you say you talking about like the divorce rates, domestic violence. You got to even think about the kids that are being abused because they're not, they wasn't going to school at the time of the pandemic, so they had to be forced to live in houses where they were already either sexually, molested or abused. And then even just with everything going on in the world right now, I think it's hard for like just even black parents, like black men trying to raise family. That's a lot of like anger and tension not to be able to go out and work every day to feed your family, and you got to figure it out without any type of assistance. And I think that's unique because people like us, like especially for me, I grew up in a 2-bedroom trailer. That shit was like 3,500. You know what I'm saying? For the whole home. And I was optimistic about making it out of there. And I went through so many different levels of what people might call success and people might call setbacks, but it taught me a lot. So even with times like now, you know, I'm calm because I understand it always gets better, you know, greater later. But I understand how to like maintain, fall back on things. You know,
we know how to revert back to top ramen.
Right. Hey, matter of fact, I had some earlier today, baby.
Yes, sir.
No,
I wanna give everybody tuning in a quick spiel with a couple things that I've never said publicly. I was born and raised in Watts, South Central LA, right next to Compton. Before I got on, my city, Watts, was only known for the Watts riots, the 1965 Watts Rebellion. The president at the time had to call Dr. Martin Luther King in from Atlanta into Watts to give speeches and try and calm people down because things was that off the hook. And that's the kind of vulnerabilities that I was born into. I was actually born at Martin Luther King Hospital. They named the hospital after him because of what he did for Watts in the height of the Watts Rebellion.
Wow. So the hospital was named after him because he came and
because everything was being burned down because of the same thing we're dealing with now. Right. Police corruption, excessive force, murder.
Did you feel that? Like, was you like a youngster and you was seeing everything going on?
It happened in 65 and I was born in 78. I'm 41. Right. So to be born into a city where every story and everything you do and everywhere you go, all of your parents or anyone that was living in the community around that time, those are all the stories because that's what the city is known for. So when
and it's not to get misconstrued because for some reason when you were saying that, the first thing came to my mind was the Rodney King riots. Okay, so this is
Rodney King happened in LA.
Right.
We were looting in South Central LA and we were looting everywhere.
Got it.
But we were looting in South Central because of what they did to Rodney King and how all of them officers got off. So that was like round 2, round 3, round 4.
It's crazy because that's right where we at now.
Right.
Wow.
And so that's what I was born into. And when the Watts riots of 1965 went down, it was specific to Watts. And when the Rodney King thing went down, we was burning down shit everywhere.
Right.
It wasn't just it was Inglewood, Compton, Watts, Long Beach.
Right.
Everywhere.
It was on CNN. Like getting into it quick for those who don't understand. What was the Watts riots about? Like what was that tension for?
The Watts riots was about exactly what we're dealing with now, which is excessive force, murder, racism, cover up, you know, just various different things that we were dealing with in the hood in Watts. And it just got to that breaking point where we like, man.
Right. Damn, that just happened in Watts. So the rest of LA being affected as much as what was going on in Watts, and that's why the tension happened in Watts.
I think the Watts riots was specific to Watts, but obviously there were other places that were in the inner city that was still being burned down. But the majority of the shit that went down was in Watts. That's why they didn't call it the LA riots. They said
right.
Watts riots because Watts was burned down to the ground.
Right. So you got young Ty coming out of Watts. He's inspiring to be. Like, what's your mindset? Like you coming out of Watts, this history.
Well, I mean, you know, the thing is, long before I discovered what my actual talent was or what God was going to use me for or what my entry point was going to be, everything for me was just about survival. You know what I'm saying? Like when I used to walk to school, I went to Locke High School in Watts, And I used to have to walk through like 10 hoods.
Mm.
Me and my family had every form of public aid. We had WIC vouchers. We had county checks. My mom's made us go to Social Security building and play like we had some type of learning problems or we was retarded or whatever so that we can get Social Security checks. We had food stamps. My mom's was working under the table at multiple restaurants, single mom raising four, and she became an alcoholic for 27 years. My pops was an alcoholic, crackhead. Um, I mean, every level of dysfunction imaginable.
Right.
In Watts, there's cripping, there's blood, and there's SA gangs, prostitution, murder, police excessive force. Um, there's rape, there's molestation, there's playing basketball with the homie on a Wednesday. He's dead on Thursday.
Right.
I've been shot at multiple times. I've had multiple attempted murders on my life. And then you realize quickly that it's hard to focus on talent. It's hard to focus on visions and goals and whatever God may put on your heart to do or accomplish when literally you're just trying to survive.
Right.